is this? Everybody poops sometimes. Give us the smother. Wake up, sweetness.
Your first time should be more than special.
I'm in, Savannah said. Good Lord, Gemma. When a man and a woman, in this case, really love each other, what happens is they fuck.
Ooh, hello?
Oh, dang it, I lost my fish. This next word almost sounds like Quidditch. Quidditch milade Diana Agosiagath an Fiedian. As much as I love fucking you, sweetness. We stared into each other's eyes whilst I moaned in ecstasy. Having consumed half of the bourbon, I keep saying bourbon. You know, every time I mess up on a word, Stunt Mama just shows up.
She had her seductive smile on her lips.
I said we couldn't have sex. I didn't say anything about everything else. Ew. Happy to help. Biatch. You are the spark of light and the vastness of my night. His note, like a finality to a beautiful, breathtaking song. Hi and good evening. Welcome. How you doing? It's good to see you. Stump Mama's mama getting first place. Arachno was in the stream first though. Could have stolen that first place spot, but you left it open. That's okay. It's good to see you. Alan and Bill the Duck, hi. Fellow reader, how are you? It's good to see you in here. And Mitchell, hi Mitchell. How's it going? How's everyone's week been? So, let's let's clear my throat 1,000 times. I'm Okie Smoky. I hope yours is also swell. Going by too fast. Yeah, no, I'm having a decent week. But I think we should get this part out of the way and talk about the elephant in the room. And if you've been staying up to date, it's probably not hard to tell what that elephant is. So, you may have noticed that my affiliate status is back. Points are back, that's right. So, here's basically what I learned very quickly. There are too many things connected to being an affiliate that I was not able to take part of. My goal of disconnecting the financial side and at the core of that, making it so that you guys didn't have to pay $5 just so you could avoid ads. I still wanted to do that. But I was losing out on so many other things that I wanted to involve you with and be able to do behind the scenes by not being an affiliate. It's kind of intense, actually, how much things change that you don't even realize until you've done it. And that was the tricky part. So after a couple of streams, I think 2 or 3, I soon realized that I have to get it back because I'm not going to have access to all of those things. And when I realized that and realized that I needed to bring my affiliate status back, I got sick to my stomach. I'm not going to lie. I really did. I felt nauseous. And I felt like I was a bit two-faced as well. a lot of things, a lot of not very nice things went through my head when I was bringing back the status. Hi, Shivy. It has been ages. How the heck are you? So I did not take the decision lightly to bring it back, but I needed it. And one of the things that I needed from the affiliate status was just to be able to save my videos, because I use those videos to help me get voice work outside of Twitch. So I had to make that decision. So what I did, and I talked to a couple other streamers about this. Here There Be Monsters was super helpful and supportive in this thought process. I've set my ads to pre-roll, and so I've already run ads, so we should not see ads for like an hour, okay? And I've set it up so that I should get an alert as to when they come back. So once I see that alert, it doesn't matter where we are in a chapter, what we're doing. Once I see the ads about to start, I'm just going to stop reading and let them go. Once they're done, I'll welcome everybody back, and then we'll keep reading. Because that way, for one, I can still have access to all the things that affiliate gives you. Two, you don't have to subscribe because you won't miss anything. And three, I feel like there was a third. It doesn't matter what the third thing is. The point is, we'll be all good to go. Yeah, if I ever get affiliate, I wonder how I'm going to navigate this, because I'm not jazzed about having ads either, since I only read right now. Exactly. When you're reading a book, it's not like you're playing a game, right? And you can just pause the game. Sometimes you're reading, you don't notice. So I'm trying to do the pre-roll thing. I'm trying to bridge out the ads for as long as I possibly can. And that means I can be alerted when they're about to happen, and then stop once they show up. And then that way we'll be all set. So that's my piece. That's what I'm going to try, and hopefully that works. So I've said it. I've done it. I may take the same route if I have ads. May have a dedicated screen image to show that ads are running and I pause the reading, like go to a pee-pee break. Yes, that's a good idea. I like that. That's a great idea. Solid idea. So yes, Shivy, where have you been? Are you still streaming? What are you doing? I haven't seen you go live in months. Many, many months. What's going on? Give me the breakdown. And also tonight, we're starting a brand new book. Ladies and gentlemen. Brand new book. And to top it off, make sure I get this correct here. IUPH. Check out that link. I've connected with, thanks to the author of this book, Mr. R.J. Eastwood, I have connected with another book helper. Well, you'll see the link. Rio. Hi, Rio. I haven't since last May, but I had a return in March, but I still figure it out. Oh, well, Shivy, that's great. I had some issues at work last year, but now all good. Work is great, and I'm happy and busy. I'm certainly glad to hear that, and I'm sorry you had so many troubles. I had no idea, but I'm glad to know you're back. Hi, Julie. Hi, Rio. Thank you for the raid. I learned Japanese and write short stories. Wow. That's super impressive. That is super impressive. I don't know any Japanese. Konnichiwa. I think that's Japanese. And still have my book club. Fantastic. That's great. I'm happy to hear it. I look forward to catching a future stream then. Rio, thank you for the raid. Let me get you a shout out. What were you getting up to? Warframe. Excellent. That's correct. I did see you playing Warframe earlier while I was visiting with the family. My in-laws were here today, having dinner, hanging out. So yeah. Thank you for the raid, Rio. That's very kind. I appreciate you. Yeah, Warframe's awesome. So yeah, I'm doing good. What about you? I don't have too much to complain about. There are things I could complain about, but I am not going to complain about. So, yeah. Oh, the puzzle. Right, let me show you the puzzle. Since we are doing Midnight Black, I chose a black piano. Indeed. And you'll notice right here, we also have a word search. If you do ! word search, you can dive into that as well. In fact, let me make sure I turned off. I did turn off the sound effects. So there's no sound effects. Fantastic. Just to give you all a heads up, so we're obviously reading tonight, and then after stream, if you do !4th, like the number, we're going to be reading Fourth Wing in Discord in the event chat section. That will start at 9 p.m. Central. We'll read on Sunday. I know it's Easter, but because I read in the evening, I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. So I will be here Sunday evening to read. And then I will likely read on Wednesday the following week, because on Thursday I leave at like 3:30 in the morning my time to go catch a flight. I have some work out of state, and I won't be back until like midnight on Monday. So we'll stream tonight, right now. We'll stream Sunday like usual. Then we'll stream on Wednesday. And then I'll be gone Thursday through Monday. So we won't stream again until the following Thursday. So I apologize for taking the break, but I don't have a choice. Otherwise I would stay. Wait, this weekend is Egg Day? It certainly is. In like 3 days. It's Egg Day. Crazy, I know. I won't be able to be here Sunday. We have overnight company. No worries. And that's why I'm glad I can record these and have the VODs, which is super important, because for those of you that want to keep up with the story, which I know most of you do, I want to make sure that, you know, you're here for it. Or that I'm here for it. You know what I mean. That's the link to our author. Please, please, please go check out this book. This is no ordinary author. In fact, well, a lot of the authors that we've had on the stream would be out of the ordinary in one way, shape, or form. But what I mean by this is that our author has quite the portfolio, okay? Robert J. Emery, who goes by the pen name of R.J. Eastwood, has written, produced, and directed feature motion pictures, television documentaries, national television commercials, political campaigns, and industrial films. Some of the highlights of his career include the award-winning 91-episode television series The Directors for Starz and Encore, the award-winning 4-part miniseries The Genocide Factor for PBS, the award-winning documentary For God and Country, a Marine Sniper Story for MSNBC, and the award-winning motion picture Swimming Upstream for the Lifetime Television Network. This man has done things. And when I reached out through an email saying, hey, I was told about your book, it was recommended to me, can I read it? Here's how I do it. I did not expect to hear back. But lo and behold, a couple days later, I got a reply saying, yes, absolutely. And I am thrilled to be part of this journey. So, without further ado, I think I have rambled on long enough. We are going to crack open the book. So as you all know, I never read ahead. I haven't looked inside the book yet, so I'm taking my first look right now. We have a review right in front on the very first page. This gripping dystopian thriller grabs you from the very start with subtle details and brilliant descriptions, as well as tension-building prose and believable dialogue that immediately endears readers to the unlikely hero. There are patriotic elements to the story, as well as anarchic. I can read. Action-packed scenes and thoughtful philosophical moments that take a reader by surprise. Eastwood's talent as a flexible and creative author is on clear display as he unravels this twisted version of the future. All right, and we have some chapter outlines here on the table of contents. It looks like we have 29 chapters in all. We don't have page numbers, and that's okay. Just giving you an idea of what we have. So chapter 1 starts, as you would expect, on page 1. And then if I go to the back here, we see that our story ends at page 290, 291. So that gives you an idea of how long the book is. Supernatural. Hey there. How are you? Y'all rested up from your workouts today? Let's get Shivy a shout out too, since we haven't seen Shivy stream in a while. Freshen up her follow list. I keep smacking my microphone. My pleasure, Shivy. What is that flower next to your name? Oh, TwitchCom Amsterdam. That makes sense. You're in Europe. It's really late for you. Why are you awake? I just realized that. Like, it's so late. What are you doing? Oh, by the way, before I begin reading, if you have your Prime connection with Twitch, there's a free game right now that I saw. If you like simulator games, there's a bus simulator. So if you like to pretend you're the bus driver, I think it's like, I don't know if it's like a city bus where you stop at points on a route and go around and around and around for 10 hours in a day. I think it's more like long haul driving, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, if that's your kind of thing, there's a free copy of the game. Anyway, we got the puzzle going, and yes, Stump Mama's Mama, it does look like a tough one. I saw your comment earlier. I just forgot to reply to it. I replied in my head. Bus Sim. There's one for Stump Mama. Yeah, I know. I haven't told her yet. But I think she would excel. You do that all the time, right? Yeah, you reply in your head, but not out loud. Alright, so get comfortable. If you have your drink, fantastic. If you need to go get a drink, go get your drink, your snack. Relax. We're gonna read, for the first time on stream, Midnight Black by R.J. Eastwood. At the very top of the page, it says, "The year is wherever your imagination takes you." So you get to decide what the year is as we start this book. Chapter 1 is called The Execution. Here we go. And thank you for being here, by the way. There's no turning back now from what I came to do. What I'm compelled to do. Consequences be damned. Lady Justice doesn't get her hands on this one. This one is mine. I've been sitting in my car for 10 minutes, staring at the house. I've checked and rechecked the address. 1329 Grand. It's a gray 2-story, 4-unit tenement with 3 ground... I'm nailing the reading today. 3 ground floor entry doors. I assume the middle one leads upstairs. The one to the left, that's the correct number. That's it. It's now or never. Screwing on the silencer to my Glock 22, I approach the door and knock. No response. I strike the door again. This time, a voice responds. Who is it? I have a package for Mr. Jack Kerfoot. It requires a signature. I'm not expecting a package. Who is it from? Amazon, sir. I'm not expecting a package from Amazon. If you'll just open the door and take a look, Mr. Kerfoot. A couple of seconds pass before I hear a lock released. The door slowly opens about a foot, and Kerfoot peers out. Immediately, I kick at the door. It swings open, hitting Kerfoot's right shoulder and knocking him back. Stepping inside, I stick my gun in his face. Hey! Who the hell are you? Your worst nightmare. Get out of here. I'm calling the cops. Go ahead, pissant. Call them. The last thing this lying son of a bitch wants is the police to show up. Not with what he's done. Jesus. He can't be over 25 or 26 years old. Thin face, dirty blonde hair, and blue-green eyes. He's short, 5'8" if he's lucky. Coming face to face with him only increases my rage. What the hell do you want, man? You, Jack Kerfoot. You. Me? What for? Get the hell out of my house. Watch his right hand, Billy. Why is it behind his back? His hand's whipping around. Shit. The fool's got a gun. My right arm swings up and out, the Glock smashing against his left ear. He pulls his trigger. The bullet whizzes within inches of my left ear, slamming into the wall behind me. His hand goes to the blood gushing from his ear. He squeals like a wounded animal. His gun slips from his hand to the floor. He turns and quickly steps down the hall through a door, slamming it behind him like repulsive rodent he is. Hey, jerk off. That's not gonna save you. Kicking the door with my right foot, it swings open. It's an oversized closet. The feral pig is on his ass behind a couple of large boxes and hanging clothes. Legs bent to his chest, arms wrapped around his knees, fingers intertwined tight. Eyes shut, like if he doesn't see me, I'm not really here and won't do what I've come to do. You know why I'm here, Kerfoot. No answer. Open your eyes. Look at me. His eyelids slowly open, his gaze going first to my gun and then to meet mine. Here it comes. The prick is gonna plead for his miserable life. But I'm not offering options here. Forget it, creep. There'll be no negotiations on this. Your last day sucking air. Who are you? What do you want? Does the name Russell ring a bell? I don't know Russell. You got the wrong guy. The hell I have, I yell. Aiming for his right knee, I squeeze the trigger. The silencer muffles the sound of the exploding bullet. The shell strikes, peeling away his kneecap. He's howling like a squealing pig. His body's oscillating like an electric toothbrush. My second shot is to his left kneecap, ripping away flesh and cartilage. His mouth flaps open wide. Out comes another chilling scream. Go ahead, you pussy. Make all the noise you want. Nobody's coming to your rescue. Look at me, asshole. Look at me before your lights go out, and you come face to face with your maker. Whoever the hell that is. Satan, maybe. Just in case you didn't know her name, it was Deirdre. What? Deirdre. Her name was Deirdre. He's shaking badly, breathing hard and having trouble putting one word before the other. I don't know any Deirdre. Enough chit-chat. Do it. Do it now, Billy boy. I squeezed the trigger. The bullet raced down the barrel at 2,500 feet per second, striking his forehead just above and between his eyes, leaving not a neat hole but tearing away the top of his skull, splattering flesh, bone, blood, and gray matter over boxes, clothes, and the wall. Lucifer's bastard son is dead. It felt right and righteous, and all the other words in the English lexicon that justify what I've done in Deirdre's name. Now get out of here, Billy. Whoa, wait. An ear-splitting horn blasts. Jesus, it sounds like it's coming from inside this closet. But there it is again, only louder. I feel a sharp stab in the middle of my back, like an electrical charge surging through me. It doubles me over. Now, someone's in my face yelling. Get up! Get your lazy ass up! What? You heard me, 556. Get your miserable ass out of that bunk now. That voice. That accent. It can't be. Jesus, it's Quasi. What the hell are you doing here? I'm everywhere, 556. Always watching and waiting for you to screw up. Now get your goddamn criminal ass up. That's chapter 1. So, Billy apparently is seeking out justice for Deirdre. We don't know what happened to Deirdre. We don't know what Kerfoot has done or potentially done. And now Quasi has done something. Where Quasi came from or who or what Quasi is, we don't know. We do know that this story takes place in the future somewhere. Again, we get to decide for ourselves how far in the future that is. I know I say it every stream, but my goodness, that hot tea just hits the spot. I also don't know what happened to the puzzle. So I did try to find a different multiplayer puzzle, but there just weren't any. I'm gonna try again for next time. One more time. And if I can't find one that doesn't time me out, maybe it's because I'm not logged in. I don't know. Didn't require me to log in. But anyway, if I can't find another one, I will try to find something else because I like giving you guys options. I know the puzzles are always a huge hit, and that's great. I just want to find something for the people that maybe don't want to do a puzzle. Anyway, that's my intermission. I do have a new point redeem, by the way, that you may have noticed. It's 10,000 channel points for those of you that have got them racked up. If you redeem that, you can send me a DM with something spicy. As long as it's not triggering with non-consensual acts. Has to be consensual. You know the rules. And I will read it at some point in the stream between a chapter. Just for you. So, have fun with that. In the meantime, we're going to continue with chapter 2. It's called This Place Sucks. Which it probably does if you're, well, who knows where you are. But if the title says it sucks, then it probably does. I'll be whisked off to heaven when my earthly expiration date arrives because I've already experienced hell. I no longer have a sense of what is real and what is not. The memories that once lifted my spirits when all hope seemed lost are gone, like I'm seeing life through heavy gauze. That's what this hellhole has done to my once functioning brain. But I will endure and survive. Until then, like the missing tab of a 1,000-piece puzzle, apocalyptic dreams are in control of my nights. The precious memories that once kept me going when I thought I couldn't are distorted and fragmented. The memories I wish I could erase forever linger within the deep recesses of my consciousness, haunting me night after night. When I arrived here, past tense, I was 26 years old, 6 feet 2, weighing in at 215 pounds. I'm 190 now, thanks to 6 days a week of hard labor. Sounds like this guy's in jail. Okay, my company changed to coming on Tuesday so I can be here Sunday. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you for letting me know. And Mr. Thump Gaming, what's up, sir? We just started a new book, although I imagine you're probably streaming right now, because that's usually... You are. Let me pull you up. There, I've returned the favor. Folks, if you want to listen to a smooth talker, Thumb Gaming is where it's at. Alright, back to business. But yes, it sounds like he's in jail. The precious memories... Oh wait, we already read that, sorry. I'm 190 now, thanks to 6 days a week of hard labor. My hair remains dark brown except for the streak of white that have invaded my temples. Dark circles live under my light brown eyes, and my face has forgotten how to smile. Like everyone back on Earth. Back on Earth. We are not on Earth, apparently. I had only heard stories of this place that painted a grim picture. Little did I know that I was what I was in for. Hi, Ashball. It's good to see you. How are you? When we landed in this netherworld, management had us strip and march past a line of leering, catcalling inmates. The Brass's way of removing any sense of self-esteem we had left. From that moment on, time and space were altered. I had descended into a black hole of punishment. We were issued identification numbers. Names are not used here. My number is 113495556. I'm addressed only as 556, stitched on the front of the 2 issued shirts. So that makes sense why in the first chapter we heard 556. We sleep in 4 cold, dark, grey, cramped spaces called bays, with 50 men in each. I'm in Bay 3. The bunks are 2 feet apart in earshot of every snort, belch, cough, sneeze, grunt, fart, and a cacophony of consistent distractions from some of the scariest men I've seen and had the displeasure of coming into contact with. That's saying a lot considering my profession before being sent here. You have to set the others straight off, or they'll make a life of hell of harassment. I did, and they know not to screw with me. Our Paratheid is alive and well, thanks to a complicated mix of races. If you're black, brown, red, or yellow, life is a nightmare of racism that leads to an occasional battle royale nurtured by the all-white goon squads who watch over us. Each day begins on an elevator that accommodates 25 at a time. Down we go some 35 feet, where we tunnel shafts, or where the tunnel shafts begin. Except for a half-hour box lunch break, the day is spent operating machinery that scrapes loose the precious ore deep under the frozen surface of Europa, the smallest of the 4 Galilean moons orbiting Jupiter. The ore is black as coal and smells like rotting chicken parts, an odor that will forever be embedded in my sinus cavities. None of us would be here if not for a crewless spacecraft called Clipper, launched in 2024 by NASA to probe beneath Europa's frozen surface. What the good ship Clipper brought back changed how the world consumed energy. Scientists turned giddy when they heated a sample, and it liquefied into metallic hydrogen, a super energy source researched for years with no positive results. There followed an urgent coming together of US space agencies and private space firms to launch a crewed flight to Europa, which they eventually did. It was a miraculous accomplishment, given how quickly it came together. Once there, the crew planted an American flag on Europa's surface, claiming all rights to the ore for the United States. Next came the construction of a ship large enough to send a workforce, materials, and machinery to build an underground facility. That same ship, plus 2 more, shuttled human resources to Europa and returned the ore to Earth. The rest is history. Max Mineral, the mining conglomerate headquartered in Marseille, France, would oversee the mining operation. They're the ones who named the ore Phosphoror. Excuse me. Europa was designated a penal colony to ensure a continuous workforce to work the mines, since no one in their right mind would volunteer to go there. If a country wanted a share of the liquid gold, they paid the price set by the US government in addition to providing an agreed upon number of men convicted of heinous crimes to work the mines. Medical assistance is all but non-existent. There is always a fresh supply of disposable human resources waiting in the wings. Since I've been here, I've lost count of the number of men that have died miserable deaths. The guards are a mixed bag of mostly ex-military tough guys from around the world. Their accents are all over the place. Half the time you can't decipher what's coming from their mouths. How do I begin to describe 17 years of living deep underground, never seeing the surface, sky, or whatever the hell else might be out there in the frozen no man's land besides the landing or launch pad? One day rolls into the next without reference to anything outside the dark, dusty, smelly mines, the clamor of heavy machinery, the brutal Neanderthal guards, the less than appetizing food, and inmates looking to blow off steam. Or worse, a carnal roll in the sack in the middle of the night with a willing or unwilling participant. Each minute, Each hour and each passing day plays one without place, time, meaning, or documentation. Physical pain and emotional stress turn you into someone you might not have otherwise become. On my bluest days, I remind myself that if I endure and retain my sanity, my sentence will be up, and life will resume where it left off, albeit, excuse me, I lost my place, albeit damaged physically and mentally. We have no contact with the outside world. Nothing. Nada. Zip. A family member could die back home and you'd never know. There's no existence beyond our spaces. I recall the relish that my early school years established me as the class clown. To this day, I have no idea why I continue to see life's humor, if not the absurdity. Unfortunately, my warped sense of humor wasn't embraced by my teachers and often landed me in hot water. I took a serious interest in this crazy, murky world when I entered my first high school year. Life was all around us, abundant and diverse, and that interested me. What does mean to be alive, and why for such a short time? How foolish and arrogant of me to think that I, William Billy Evan Russell, would discover the answers to such deep questions. Perhaps one day, I thought I would meet someone who can. I'm still waiting. On the other hand, like all clueless youth, I was convinced I would live forever. The 7 stages of life that begin with infancy and end somewhere between dotage and death didn't apply to me. All these years later, I'm dwelling more and more on that end stage. I no longer see the light at the end of the tunnel as a ray of hope, but as a speeding train coming to squash me. Like a disease-spreading insect. Like all mornings, a bone-shaking siren shakes us awake at 5 a.m., reminding us of the lingering aches and pains of the previous day. We're up and standing by our bunks, awaiting the arrival of a sorry excuse of a human, an ill-tempered oaf of a man whose first name is Vladimir. Don't know his last. We call him Quasi, short for Quasimodo, because his shoulders hunch forward like maybe his head's too heavy for his fleshy frame. He speaks with a tongue-twisting European accent. The mere sight of him sticks in my throat like the foul-smelling Fosteroror. Fostioror. You know, the stuff they're mining. The guards carry a 2-foot instrument resembling a cattle prod that delivers the same electrical results. Quasi's damn quick to use his for the most minor of infractions. This morning, he shows up looking more pissed off than usual. I gotta clear my throat. Just a second. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. For some reason, as I started reading, my throat just got more and more, well, clogged up. Leon Wilson, Christopher Hewitt Henley, William Evan Russell, Stahl Prazilozak. Quasi has this irritating habit of slipping in and out of his mother tongue. I'm not sure, but it sounds Slavic. Hairball? Yeah, pretty much. Like, more than normal. I was starting to talk like this. I shoot him a questionable look. Sorry, sir, I didn't get that last part. You three assholes stood by beds. The word is stand. Learn the language, you frigging imbecile. Whoa, wait a damn minute. Did he call us by our actual names? Not our numbers. Not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. The rest of you know drill. Move it. 47 men drone in unison in a chorus of disenfranchised voices. Yes, sir. Quasi counts heads until the last man files out of their morning latrine. Let's start that again. Out of their morning latrine break and a bowl of mushy, overcooked oatmeal. Why he finds it necessary to count heads, only he knows. Where the hell would one go if they did try to escape? Ice skating on the surface, maybe? Chris Henley leans close and whispers with a shit-eating grin on his lips. Jesus, man. He called us by our names. Chris is a smallish, wiry white guy about my age. He has close-cropped dark brown hair, piercing, menacing eyes, and a wise-cracking mouth that no loving mother would tolerate. Near as I remember, he showed up a year after I did. A tattoo of a .300 Winchester Magnum M24 sniper rifle is on his left shoulder. Leon Grover is a tall black guy in his 60s with a thick head of black hair and strong facial features. He arrived a couple of years after Chris. Leon's quiet and mostly keeps to himself, and he coughs a lot. There's always a cigarette hanging from his lips. Everyone smokes since cigs are free, and one and only perk. Now, Quasi strolling back with his usual smug, kick-ass look. You three have appointment with Commandant. Get dressed. The Commandant? No one gets an invitation to the Commandant office unless they're gonna get their ass handed to them for some infraction, or their endless rules. As usual, Chris can't keep his damn bloody mouth shut. What does Air Commandant want with us? Quasi scowls. He scowls a lot. He sticks his cattle prod within an inch of Chris's nose. Keep mouth shut. Get dressed. Chris grabs his crotch with both his hands and groans. Can we hit the head first? I gotta go bad. Quasi lets out a grunt. He also grunts a lot. Make it quick. Okay, and that was chapter 2. So they're in jail. But they're not in jail on Earth. They're in jail on some moon outside of Jupiter. Last I checked, Jupiter was really far away. Like, really far. I can't imagine the ride there was, a day. It's not a quick flight. But who knows? Maybe in the future timeline that you're thinking of, by then we've conquered space travel, so it's easy and effortless. I don't know. And I think for the moment, I'm going to make the word search disappear because, I don't think it's going to work out for some reason. I just need to find it. Where? There you are. Alright, got it. Beam me up, Scotty. That would be nice, wouldn't it? You. Prison, long time. Beam. Next. That'd be awful, actually. I think I'd prefer the long ride. All right. Chapter 3 is on page 11. This one's called Get Out of Jail Card. So maybe this visit to the office of the Commandant isn't gonna be that bad. I guess we'll find out. Sleeping bays, latrines, mess hall, staff quarters, and support facilities are on one level, 25 feet deep below Europa's frozen surface. The Commandant's office is located at the extreme west end, causing us to trek through a maze of twisting, narrow passageways with a few emergency airlocks along the way. The entire operation is a technological marvel. But if heat, oxygen, or water purification systems fail, we're mincemeat. The Commandant's name is Oleg Maximchak. Yep, that's what we're going with. Maximchuk, a former colonel in the Ukrainian army. Colonel Max, as we call him, thank God, is short, 5'6", maybe, thin face, hollow cheeks, and eyes coal black like his hair. In all the years I've been here, I've only seen him 5 or 6 times during his infrequent inspections of the mines, marching around quick step as Napoleon Bonaparte, reincarnated with his entourage of armed security following a few steps behind like robots. When we're ushered into his office, little Napoleon Max sits reading at his desk. His chair's been jacked up to make him appear taller. Like the dim-witted, loyal soldier, Quasi clicks his heels and salutes. Commandant, sir. Inmates Leon Patrick Grover, William Evan Russell, Christopher Michael Henley. With his eyelids narrowed to slits, Max glances up with an austere expression that would melt the planet's surface. He's sizing us up. When satisfied, Mac picks up whatever he's reading, holds it above his head, and rattles it. This communique arrived late last night. For whatever reason, which I am not privy to, it directs me to return you on Europa 2 when it departs later today. The three of us exchange confused glances. Whoever pulled your ticket on such short notice believes you would be of more use back home. Did I hear right? Are we leaving the cesspool and returning to Earth? Is that what he said? Max looks as confused as we do. Dropping the communique to the desk, he shakes his head. I am left to ponder why anyone would consider you three of use beyond your duties here. Chris opens his mouth to speak. Max stops him with a sharp look. Which one are you? 687, sir. Not your number, your name. Oh, yeah, sure. Christopher Henley, sir. Inmate Henley. Be quiet and listen. Yes, sir. Just wondering. Don't. You'll be provided further instructions upon your arrival at Base Arizona. You do remember Base Arizona? Liar and I nod. Chris is Chris. It's in Arizona, sir. Chris and I share some similar traits of being a smartass. I prefer to call it wit. Sarcastic humor. But, to each their own. Mac's left eyebrow shoots up. Here it comes. Chris is about to get his ass handed to him. Was that meant to amuse, Inmate Henley? No, sir, I just... Be quiet. Officer Sokolov will see you are prepared for departure. Sokolov? That's Quasi's last name. Now, you may ask questions. Inmate Russell? Think fast, Billy. Make it mundane. This is welcome news, Commandant, sir. Max chuckles low. I think it would be. Inmate Grover, you look unwell. A bug, sir. It's getting better. Do you have a question? I have none, sir. Inmate Henley? No, sir. Very well. Sign your transfer papers on your way out. I'm off to bed. Was a nice puzzle. Thank you, and the book sounds interesting. Hope to catch you soon. I hope to catch you soon, Shivy. Thank you for sticking around. I know it's late for you. Get some sleep. We'll find each other again soon. Thank you, sir. For what, Inmate Henley? Well, sir, we're going home, and be forewarned, much has changed back on Earth. Perhaps you will not find it to your liking. What's that supposed to mean? What could possibly be worse than remaining here? We're going home. Period. Full stop. I caution you to be on your best behavior during your voyage, or you'll find yourselves on the next transport back. In unison, we answer, yes, sir. Max swipes a hand through the air. Leave now. Oh, hell. Henley's raising his hand. For Christ's sake. Chris, keep your trap shut for once. Inmate Henley, are you hearing impaired? Not that I'm aware of, Commandant. Then lower your hand and remove yourself from my presence. Yes, Commandant, sir. Quasi clicks his heels, straightens his hunched back as best as he can, and salutes, and we file out behind him. With luck, this was the last time we'll encounter Bonaparte Max. His aide asked to sign our discharge papers on our way out, which I sign without reading. As we follow Quasi back through the passageways, there's a renewed spring in my step. But elated as I am, my emotions are conflicted. Who wants us back on short notice? And why and what for in a world I barely remember? Why would that even cross my mind, Billy boy? It's enough that you're going home. So for reasons yet to be revealed, I bid you goodbye, Europa. May your permafrost one day melt, knock you off your axis, and suck you into a black hole. And yet, I have this dreaded feeling the other shoe has yet to drop. Guys, this doesn't pass the smell test. Oh. Okay. So, Stream, or Twitch, I should say, was supposed to let me know when an ad break was about to start. I set it up to give me a 1-minute warning, but it didn't. So that's a bit annoying. A bit concerning, actually. So I'm going to take a quick second here to look at my settings. You never saw any ads, so I was just sitting here looking weird. Well, that's interesting. Did anyone else see ads? I'm looking at my settings. You didn't see ads either? Well, what the heck? Okay. I mean, that's good. Alright. That's fine. I just gave my throat a 2-minute break. That's all. Okay. Whatever. Twitch be Twitch. I can't control it. And I'm not going to pretend to even try. Okay. Where were we? Alright, top of the page. That's right. Guys, this doesn't pass the smell test. Leon shoots me a stern look. Who cares what it smells like? We're going home. Aren't you the least bit curious who wants us back so badly they'd cut our sentences short and ship us out hours later? Billy, my boy, who gives a damn? I do, Chris. I do. Leon lets out a long sigh. Will you two get your act together, please, just this once? Henley, smiling from ear to ear, whispers the same stale joke he repeats at the end of every mind shift. What did the shepherd say when he saw the storm coming? Leon's trying to stifle a laugh. Like me, he knows the answer all too well. When the storm came, the shepherd said, "Let's get the flock out of here." Thank you, Leon. Drum roll, please. How do I say your name? Nurakia? Nurakia? Is that how I say it? If not, I apologize. We're reading the book you see up here in the top right corner, Midnight Black. If you do !midnight in chat, you'll get a link to the author page. You're more than welcome to check it out. But thanks for typing in chat. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. How'd you find us, by the way? Did you just look at the reading fun section and happen to see me on, or did someone mention me? I'm always curious how people find the stream, especially the reading fun category. It's not exactly the most popular. There's a small break in the story here, by the way. Looks like we have a sword and axe logo, like they're crossed together. Usually a sign that time has moved on in the story. 30 minutes later, the three of us are in the shower, washing off the stink and grime of this insufferable planet. That's followed by our last bowl of overcooked, mushy oatmeal. For as long as I live, I will never eat oatmeal again. Nor will I trust anyone who does. We're issued black jumpsuits, 5 pairs of new socks, underwear, and a small pouch containing a toothbrush, toothpaste, shaving cream, a razor, a bar of soap, a comb, and laminated credit-sized card bearing our photo and ID number. and a green pin on badge with nothing more than a black barcode running along the bottom. That's it. That's all I have to show for the past 17 years. Not much of a resume. Now Quasi's growling like the attack dog he's been trained to be. ID card and badge only proof you exist. Lose it, and you become non-entity. Thanks, you jelly-faced prick. Rabid dogs are treated with more dignity. Before this day is over, we'll be free of the isolation mines, lousy food, inmates, grizzly guards, and you. Quasi will still be here. Amen, amen, and one hell of a joyful hallelujah. That's the end of chapter 3. They are leaving Europa. Woohoo. I'd be excited too, but yeah, if I've been off Earth for 17 years, I'd also be a bit curious as to what I'm coming back to. At the same time, knowing how fast our government moves, I don't know if I'd be as concerned as Billy is. Just saying. Alright. Hey, Zarias. What's up? Welcome to the puzzle. Since the book is called Midnight Black, the puzzle is of a black piano. I thought I'd, stick with the theme. Chapter 4 starts on page 16. It's called The Long Trip Home. Europa 2 is a faster, bigger version of the ship that brought me here. We're strapped in, ready to be launched into space at frightening speeds for the 6 months, 1 week, and a day it'll take to reach good old Mother Earth. So there it is. About 6 months, give or take. That is a long time to be on a moving thing. Although I'm sure the views are amazing. Considering the 6 months I was jailed, tried, convicted, and sentenced, and the time coming and going, I've been missing in action for too long. Toss a match, burn this bridge, Billy boy, and never look back. Mama House Gaming, how the heck are you? I hope you've been well. I've been doing alright. How are you? Of the 18 of us returning, 14 are from another bay and are on rotation. 11 of us are wearing green badges, the rest red, which means they're rotating to other prisons on Earth. We're stacked on double bunks in a tight, foul-smelling gray steel box within range of the wafting odors of each other and the nearby latrine. Grover's in the bunk above me and Henley's in the lower bunk to my right. Besides the cargo hold emitting the foul-smelling phosphoror, I'm gonna say this wrong for like ages, phosphoror, there is a mess hall we share with 3 guards and the flight crew of 9. Aside from the boredom of washing our clothes and bedding once a week, reading books and outdated magazines and watching old movies in what passes for a dining room, boredom rules. There are, however, 2 highlights to cheer about. We're served the same food as the crew, a significant improvement. On the port side of the dining area, there's an 8-foot wide, 3-foot high portal providing unbelievable, majestic vistas of space, which we didn't have on the ship that brought us to Europa. When I peered out that portal for the first time, I stood in awed silence, and my eyes welled up. The views were spectacular, beyond belief, beyond anything I could have imagined in my wildest dreams. If every living soul on Earth could spend just a few minutes gazing out that portal, all mankind would come to the same conclusions I have. How inconsequential our lives are in the grand scheme of the vast, endless, unexplainable universe. There are no words to describe what I've been privileged to see from that portal each day. There are no words to express the spiritual effect it's had on me. Not in a religious way, but in a life-changing way that forces me to question it all more than I already have. Small pause, or not pause, break in the story. On the 51st day out, things take an ominous turn. Leon's persistent cough is getting worse, and he's having difficulty breathing. By that evening, he's spitting up yellow-green stuff mixed with specks of blood. He was constantly hacking back on Europa, but never this bad. Unfortunately, we witness this all too often. Excessive mine dust and cigarettes resulting in deadly pulmonary infections that invariably led to an agonizing death as its victims are robbed of precious air. Chris reports Leon's worsening condition to one of the guards and requests medical assistance. But the guard smirks and waves him off. There'll be no medical help for the black man. One less to take up space. When Chris returns, he's fuming. Racist pricks, every last one of them. I should have beaten the shit out of this bastard. Let it go, Chris. Let it go? Jesus, Billy. They have no empathy for the man. Apparently not. Let's just help Leon the best we can. We encourage Leon to drink lots of water, but he's having trouble keeping it down. It's coming up pink. On the morning of the 56th day, we discover our friend died during the night. The front of his shirt is soaked with blood. As if Leon Patrick Grover was nothing more than a dead animal carcass, they have Chris and me carry him off to a storage closet next to the latrine. For the rest of the trip, I have difficulty visiting the latrine without staring at that door, wondering if his body is still there. I tried opening the door once, but found it locked. Another break in the story. Except for daily visits to the portal, which never gets old because the scenery constantly changes to new and spectacular sights, each passing day is filled with boredom and sleeping. I've never slept so much in my life. Thankfully, we only have 15 days to go. We've dubbed the end of the trip the homecoming. Those with green badges receiving orders to gather in the dining area at 10 a.m. for a briefing. Itchy eye, itchy eye. Okay. The ship's first officer greets us when we arrive, making clear he will not be taking questions. In 15 days, this ship will be landing at Base Arizona. You will receive new assignments based on your skills before your incarceration. I caution you that the world you are returning to is not the one you left behind. Time passes, things change, and adjustments are made. There's a new world order governed by the New World Government that now oversees all sovereign nations. A world government? What the hell is he talking about? Chris shoots me a quizzical look. I shake my head, roll my eyes, and shrug. If you hope for a successful transition, follow instructions as you make your way through processing. Consider your return a gift. Don't squander it. That's all, gentlemen. Return to your quarters. A guy in the front row raises his hand. What is this New World Government thing? Did I not make it clear there would be no questions? Yes, sir. Then why are you asking one? The inmate shrugs. The first officer walks out, leaving behind a question mark about the new government. Chris shoots me another quizzical look. Seems like we're in for a few surprises, Billy. News at 11. Another small break in the story. You'd think I'd be juiced up and ready to go on homecoming day. But no, not me. I slip into another deep slumber, only to be shaken awake by loud noises and vibrations. For a few frightening seconds, I have no idea where I am. What? What? Chris leans over from his bunk and whispers, "It's engine thrust. We've begun our descent to planet freaking Earth." Jesus, how long have I been sleeping? Oh, I'd say just over 6 months now. Rubbing the sleep from my eyes, my face stretches into a wide grin. Is today Sunday? January 27th? It is, unless they changed the calendar while we were gone. Why? Tomorrow's my birthday. Whoa! Happy birthday, dude. How old? 44, going on 80. How about we celebrate with a nice bowl of mushy oatmeal? Never mention oatmeal again, Chris. Never, never, ever. That's chapter 4. I like that these chapters are in little bite-sized pieces. I need to get a better chair. I'm always slouching in this one. This tea's good though. Just hits the spot, you know? I am going to close this because I don't need to look at that. Okay. In fact, that means I can bring this over here. Ta-da! Best of both worlds. Sweet. How are we doing on time? 8:17 Central? Wonderful. I don't know about you all listening, but I am very curious to find out what this new Earth is going to look like, feel like, maybe even smell like. It's hard to say, but it should be interesting, to say the least. Chapter 5 is called Light at the End of the Tunnel. Yeah, it will be interesting. Yeah, I'm very curious what our author has painted for the makings of Earth. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, let's find out. Once the ship is safely docked, an announcement comes over the PA system, instructing passengers and crew to disembark before offloading of the ore begins. My God, is this real? Am I really back? I can't wait to set foot on solid ground again. 2 new security guerrillas, who in a previous life could have been crowd favorites in the Roman Colosseum, enter swinging their ever-present cattle prods. In a raspy, nicotine-soaked voice, one of them bellows, "Okay, you ground crawlers, listen up. We've arrived at Base Arizona. When we disembark, follow me single file to the delousing room to ensure none of you vermin are carrying foreign matter back to our beloved planet." That's my best I've been smoking for all my life impression. You know, something like that. Ground crawlers, vermin. I should rip out his rancid tongue and stick it up his ass. Not today, Billy. Not today. Play nice. Once off the ship, we're led single file down a narrow hall and into a windowless cement block room where we strip. A green mint-smelling mist is released from overhead nozzles, presumably sanitizing us vermin and lowly ground crawlers. Raspy voice is barking orders again. When you exit, those with red badges to the left, green to the right. We're issued new clothes, all in brown. We look like UPS delivery men. From there, we're led down a long, dark hallway. I'm halfway back in the line, and Chris is directly behind me. I can't help being apprehensive. No, terror-stricken of what's about to become my new reality. Chris leans into me and whispers low. I wish the hell Leon was with us. Yeah, me too, Chris. The hallway dead ends at a steel door. On it is a framed poster of an eagle with swooping wings reminiscent of those used by Roman emperors and Germany's Nazi party. Below the eagle, a slogan reads, "The People's Cooperative Populist Party. One world in unity." That sounds great. Not really. Above the door, a small red light is flashing on and off. Raspy voice punches in a series of numbers on a wall-mounted keypad. The light flashes green, the door glides open, and bright light spills in. When it's my turn to step through, I hesitate. Go on, Billy. This time there's a welcoming light at the end of the tunnel, not a train coming to squash you. Take those last few steps to your future, whatever it might be. Raspy pokes me with his cattle prod. Move it before you get a taste of this. Drawing a quick, deep breath, I take that last, hesitant step through the doorway to wherever awaits me on the other side. I'm greeted by a security officer in a black uniform with a WPF patch on his left shoulder. He's brandishing an automatic rifle, his fingers on the trigger, ready to ventilate anyone who dares cause trouble. A second guard is holding back a German shepherd straining at its leash, ready to sink his teeth into anyone who might piss him off. The first goon scans my badge with a hand device and waves me through. Find the door with the first letter of your last name and line up there. Yes, sir. The processing center is one large open area. The walls pastel green, the off-white floor tile, a significant improvement over cold gray steel. 25 or so green badges are already lined up at various doors. It hits me then. I'm a stranger in a strange land without the slightest clue why I'm back, where I'm going, or what's to become of me. The thought that I'll soon reunite with my parents spurs me on. The first chance I get, I'll call and let them know I'm back. The doors where we are to line up are painted black, standing out against the green walls like a pretentious warning. Over each door, white letters on black signs bearing letters of the alphabet. Down the line I go until I find the door with PQR and queue up behind the two guys ahead of me. Chris is in his line. I wave, and he waves back. Another short break. 22 anxious minutes later, the heaviest guy that was in front of me comes out with the grimmest of expressions. For a fleeting moment, we make eye contact. He looks like he's going to say something, but doesn't. Turns left, hesitates, then wanders off like he's unsure of where he's supposed to go next. The light over the door turns green. Okay, Billy boy, showtime. Take a deep breath, put one foot in front of the other, and march with courage, confidence, and conviction through that black door. Life is waiting for you to pick up where you left off. Or is it? Because that's the end of chapter 5. Dun dun dun. I don't remember the last time we read a book where the chapters were, short and sweet like this one. Feels like it's been a minute, for sure. But I like it. Okay. I'm just going to keep rolling before I need to pause, raid out, and then get ready to read in Discord. So that reminds me, if you like the book Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, if you're not already in that Discord, feel free to join it. There's a section of voice channels. One of them is called Event Chat. In about 30-ish minutes, I'll be in there, ready to read Fourth Wing, a couple of chapters before I officially call it a night. So, feel free to check that out if you have not already. Chapter 6 is called Welcome to the New World Order. That sounds great. Except not. The room is a disorienting white cyclorama. The walls are white on white, as is the tiled floor. On the left, don't like the sound of that. Exactly. On the left is a poster of the eagle in flight with the same slogan. A white chair sits in front of a white desk. What the hell is with all the white? The desktop is clear except for a clipboard and a nameplate identifying the guy sitting there as Donald P. Costigan. Costigan, however you say his last name. He's a waif of a man, bald with a pale complexion and hollow cheekbones that give him a pinched, pissed off look. Spell it, Costigan. Costigan. Or Costigan. I feel like it's Costigan, but I could see it either way. Costigan. Costigan. His eyes are locked on his computer screen, his fingers punching hard on the keyboard. His right hand shoots up. Yeah, I like it that way too. Which one? Costigan or Costigan? I think it's gun, honestly. Costigan. I also think it's up for whatever the reader wants, because that's the cool thing about books. You just go with what your gut tells you half the time. Your identification card. Give it to me. The card? Which pocket did I put it in? Hold on. It's here somewhere. He snaps his fingers twice. I don't have a year and a day. Your card. Hey, don't snap your fingers at me, pinch face. Whoa. Calm down, Billy. Find the damn card. Here it is in my left pant pocket. I hold it up and out. Without eye contact, Pinchface reaches across the desk, snatches it, and points to the white chair. Sit. What am I, a dog? Costigan inserts the card in a slotted instrument below his monitor. The screen is at an angle and I can't see. Yes or no answers. Full name, William Evan Russell? Yes, but I go by Billy. Bully for you. Age 44. Tomorrow. Happy birthday. Parents, Alistair and Amelia Russell. Yes. Born Bristol, Rhode Island. Me or my parents? He shoots me a pained sideways glance. You. Yes. His attention returns to the monitor. Graduated from New England Institute of Technology with a Criminal Justice Associate's degree. Yes. 4 years as a DEA officer in the Province Regional Office. Yes. Married to the late Deidre Arico. Oh, there's the connection. Deidre Arico Russell. Yes. That guy he shot in the face, not to mention the kneecaps, must have done something to his wife. That explains the aggression. Right. Convicted for murdering one Jack Kerfoot. I hesitate. His eyes come to me again. Did you understand the question? Yes. Then please answer it. Yes. Yes, you understand? Yes, you murdered Jack Kerfoot? The latter. See how easy that was, Mr. Russell? He punches a few keys and the screen changes. He studies it for several seconds before speaking low. What have we here? The judge deemed your messy closet misadventure a crime of passion and gave you the minimum sentence. That was extremely generous of him. The judge was a woman. And if the judge had been a man? I toss him my best shrug. He's shaking his head like he finds the whole affair distasteful. No matter the circumstances, Mr. Russell, you do not get to act as judge, jury, and executioner. In that circumstance, I was. A willful decision for which you paid a high price. I hear Europa is a most inhospitable place. That it is. With a smug expression, he turns back to the monitor. Well, now, it seems you get to play policeman again. What? With the Drug Enforcement Bureau in Boston. I'm back working for the DEA. Whoa, I hit the jackpot. Your parole begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. when you check in. Parole? Yes. Parole was never mentioned. Did you believe they'd turn you loose to roam at will? I wasn't told why, when, or where I would be going or what I'd be doing. All will be explained when you report in tomorrow. You'll travel to Boston today, check into your assigned housing, and report to your work assignment in the morning. Any deviation in your itinerary and you'll be marked AWOL, in which case they'll come looking for you and send you back to Europa to serve out your original sentence with 5 additional years tacked on. That should be incentive enough to ensure you show up. The damn fool's tossing stuff out way too fast. And none of this was explained. That's why you get to spend this precious time with me, Mr. Russell. I don't appreciate the little twerp's condescending tone, but I'll keep my cool long enough to get through this. He taps a few keys and leans into the screen. What have we here? He leaves me wondering while he reads the screen. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, Mr. Russell, but it appears your parents are deceased. Jesus, what? His words hit me like a hard punch to the stomach. That must be a mistake. No, it says here they died in an auto accident 28 days ago. These records are all I have to go by. Never had one that was wrong. I was traveling back. I had no way of knowing. Well, you know now, Mr. Russell. What a heartless thing to say, you son of a bitch. The asshole opens a drawer, withdraws a red-covered paperback, sets it on the desk, and places his right hand flat atop like he's taking an oath. This is the Red Book. It will familiarize you with all the need to know about the New World Order administered by the New World Government. Yeah, that was mentioned on the ship, but without any explanation. The New World Government took over shortly after Pakistan-India incident. The what incident? I'm not paid to provide history lessons, Mr. Russell. Just listen. Hand me your badge. The miserable excuse for a human needs a serious attitude adjustment. Removing the green badge, I hand it to him. Withdrawing my ID from the card slot, he slices both through with scissors and tosses them in a wastebasket behind him. I dare say, Mr. Russell, you look confused. You're moving fast. Then I suggest you pay closer attention. Screw you and the ass you rode in on, Donald P. Costigan. His right hand disappears under the desk. A buzzer sounds, and a door opens behind him. A guy enters, looking like he was waiting back in the dark for Mr. Pinchface to buzz him in. This one's tall and slim, with a hand dog expression that suggests he needs a decent meal, like maybe a nice bowl of mushy oatmeal. In his right hand is an instrument resembling a small hairdryer. Harvey is going to insert a GPS tracker in your left forearm. If that device is removed, World Military Police will come looking for you. What's the World Military Police? Hangdog Harvey taps me on the shoulder. Expose your left arm. I remove my jacket and roll up my shirt sleeve. Harvey swipes a small alcohol pad over my forearm. You won't even know it's there. He presses the instrument down on my arm and pulls the trigger. I feel a slight sting. He slaps a band-aid over the spot as if he's given me nothing more than an animal flu shot. Sorry, not animal, annual. Although, I think animal could have worked. Costigan finally breaks a smile. Thanks, Harvey. You're welcome, Donald. I smile wild. Yeah, thanks, Harvey. Harvey makes a hasty retreat through the door number 2. From his middle drawer, Costigan removes a stack of oversized tan envelopes and shuffles through them. Russell. Ah! Here it is. Slicing the envelope open, he dumps the contents on the desk. A travel voucher for the flight to Boston, another for transportation to your housing, and the addresses of your housing and your work assignment. He holds up what looks like a credit card. This is both your identification and debit card. While on parole, you cannot use or withdraw paper money. Use this card for all purchases. The government will track you 2 ways, via the GPS in your arm and purchases and payments posted to your card. Why? You'll have to ask them, Mr. Russell. Now, a bit of good news. Since a private enterprise oversees the mining operation on Europa, you earned spendable work credits. Really? How much? 600. Each is equivalent to $1 American. That will support your immediate needs until your salary kicks in. I quickly do the math in my head. Wow, a whole 36 or so credits a year for digging smelly ore. Great. He places the ID/debit card and the voucher inside the cover of the Red Book, stuffs it all in a large manila envelope, and pushes it across the desk. Your employer will be notified you have arrived and are on your way. That's it. Out the door, turn left to the exit. A bus will transport you to Flagstaff Pulliam International Airport. I caution you to behave well while mingling with the public. Picking up the clipboard, he extends it. Sign this confirming you understand all that has taken place here. Without reading it, I scribble my name and hand it back. We're finished here, Mr. Russell. Try not to kill anyone again, unless it's in line of duty. Now he's grinning. Not a friendly grin, but a sinister one. And thank you for your service, Mr. Russell. For what? For digging that precious phosphor ore that keeps this world humming along. Well, I think we're about to have an ad break. I think. Did it say anything? Pre-roll ads are on, run, an ad break to disable them. Oh, okay, that's something else. Never mind. Just kidding. I'm still getting used to this ad thing. I'll be damned if I'm gonna let this arrogant son of a bitch have the last word. Shooting to my feet, I plant both hands on the desk. Costigan rolls his chair back like he thinks I'm gonna attack him. The next guy coming through that door might not have my patience. So if I were you, Mr. Costigan, I'd work on improving my bedside manner. The little creep feigns a sigh. Take some advice, Mr. Russell. You are in for a steep learning curve. What you left behind 17 years ago bears little resemblance to what's out there now. I suggest you hold your tongue before it gets you in trouble. I'll deal with it as it comes. Yes, that's what they all say until they come face to face with reality. There's a new world order. One you may have great difficulty adjusting to. Although, as a Caucasian, you should find it less intimidating. What's my race have to do with it? Everything, Mr. Russell. Everything. Now then, out the door, turn left, and follow the signs to the bus. Swooping up the envelope, I back my way to the door, never taking my eyes off him. I question the origins of your mother, Mr. Costigan. Bovine, perhaps? The pathetic jerk shrugs and returns to pounding on his keyboard, as if I was nothing more than an inconvenient interruption in his otherwise niggling existence. And that takes us to the end of Chapter 6, which is perfect timing. Well, it has been an interesting start to our story. We're about 30 pages in. We're going to pause it there for tonight, though. We are going to pick this back up on Sunday. And we will see what kind of world Billy has found himself back in. I don't know the answer to that yet because I haven't read ahead. But if you dare to find out, come back on Sunday and we shall see. Alright, with that in mind, I'm going to find someone for us to raid and say hello to. And then, like I said, I will be in Discord a little bit later, in about 15 minutes. Definitely feel free to check that out if you're interested in Fourth Wing. We're on Chapter 10, if I remember correctly. But thank you again for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Let me see who's on. We got a few people on. We've got quite a few actually. Okie dokie. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you, Stump Mama's Mama. I hope you do too. I really do. You know what? Our good friend Heidi, or Heidi, is playing Helldivers, which is a fantastic game. Let's go raid and say hello. Alright. Again, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you again on Sunday. If I don't, have a fantastic weekend. Have a wonderful Easter if you celebrate Easter. And, yeah. We'll see you soon. As always, take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and have a great night.